Hi, everyone. So, you watched the slides about the walrus and the carpenter, you've listened to the poem, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work together to mark some of those poetry terms we've talked about, okay? So, I'm going to do this halfway with you, and then I'd like you to try to finish. Okay, so here we go. The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was odd because it was the middle of the night. So I just read the first stanza. Now I look, it says, where is the personification? Highlighted in red. Okay, well, the sun is not a boy. So I'm just going to highlight all of that because the sun is not necessarily a boy, and they're turning the sun into a boy. Now, over here, there's a question. What does the title, The Walrus and the Carpenter, make you think about? I'm going to write my response. The title makes me think about a carpenter wanting to build something near a walrus. You know what? That's just the first thing that pops into my head, so that's what I wrote down. Okay, now I keep reading. The moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. Okay, so now it says, where is the alliteration? Highlight it in pink. So I know alliteration is when you repeat the consonant sounds. So shining sulkily, that S sound is being repeated. Now, some people might say that's not alliteration because sh is a different sound than s, but we're going to go with it because they both start with the letter S. Now, where is the personification? Okay, this basically, the whole stanza is personification, but if I highlight it all in red, then that's going to erase the shining sulkily. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put this whole text in red because the moon doesn't sulk and she doesn't think. And she doesn't say, it's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. So why is the moon upset with the sun? Well, she is upset because it is nighttime and the sun is still up. Okay, because up in stanza 1, it says it's the middle of the night, but it's odd because the sun is still out. So this whole poem, oops, I see I have a typo. See, when Google tells me that if I've typed too fast, I can go up and fix it. This whole poem, I can just tell right away that the tone of the poem is very silly because there's lots of silly things happening. Whoops. I scrolled down too fast here. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, stanza 3. The sea was as wet as could be. The sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no cloud was in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. Okay, so what is the rhyme scheme? Okay, well, B. That's an A. Does dry rhyme with B? Nope, so I'm going to put the letter B there. Does because rhyme with B or dry? Nope, so I'm going to put the letter C there. Wait a second, sky rhymes with dry, so I'm going to put the letter B there. Overhead, does head rhyme with B, dry, or because, or sky? Nope, so that's a letter D. Oh, fly rhymes with dry and sky, so that's a letter B. So look at this. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, B. Okay? So it looks to me like the second, fourth, and sixth lines always rhyme. Okay, what are the questions? What is the rhyme scheme? Can you please mark the letters for the rhyme scheme? Is the pattern the same as stanzas 1 and 2? Oh, look, stanza 2. A, B, C, B, D, B. Stanza 1. A, B, C, B, D, B. I can say yes. Okay, stanza 4. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this were only cleared away, they said it would be grand. Okay, what is the rhyme scheme? Can you please mark the letters for the rhyme scheme? Is the pattern the same as stanzas 1, 2, and 3? Well, already I can think, okay, I know that 3 was the same as 1 and 2, so let's just check. The walrus and the carpenter, I'm going to put an A there, were walking close at hand. Oh, that's a B. Why, they wept like anything to see. C doesn't rhyme with things, so that's a C. Such quantities of sand. Oh, I can already see the pattern reappearing. So it looks, again, like it's the same pattern. A, B, C, B, D, B. So when Lewis Carroll wrote this poem, that he was always following the 2nd, 4th, and 6th lines rhyme. Okay, cool. Do you think this is a silly poem? Why would the walrus and the carpenter want the sand to be cleared away? I think this is a very silly poem because it is almost impossible to clear away the sand on the beach. I'm not going to say it's 100% impossible because nothing's impossible, but to sweep away all the sand on the beach, I don't know. So I think this is pretty silly. Stanza 5. If 7 maids with 7 mops swept it for half a year, do you suppose, the walrus said, that they could get it clear? I doubt it, said the carpenter, and shed a bitter tear. Okay, you're probably wondering why I read it like that, but what I did is I was trying to show you how many beats are in each line. Well, it goes 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 6. So there's always 8 beats in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th line, and there's always 6 syllables or beats in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th. If 7 maids with 7 mops, that's 8 syllables or beats, swept it for half a year, that's 6 syllables or beats. So the rhythm goes 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 6. And again, what does it say about these characters that they want the sand pushed away? This shows that, that the walrus and the carpenter are a little crazy. That's what I'm saying. Stanza 6. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us, the walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. We cannot do with more than 4 to give a hand to each. So let's see how many beats there are here. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us. That's 8. The walrus did beseech. That's 6. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk. That's 8. Along the briny beach. That's 6. We cannot do with more than 4. That's 8. To give a hand to each. That's 6. Why do the walrus and the carpenter want the oysters to walk with them? I think they may want to eat them. I'm writing. Oh, and look here. It says highlight the alliteration. Repetition of consonant sounds. Oh, I see it right here. Briny beach. Stanza 7. This is a picture of an oyster. Can oysters talk? Let me read this here. The eldest oyster looked at him, but never said a word. The eldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed. Okay, where is the personification? So this whole thing is personification because oysters, as you can see from the picture, don't talk, they can't wink, they can't really shake their heads, they don't really leave their beds. Does this stanza have the same beat syllables per line? Let's see. The eldest oyster looked at him, that's 8, but never a word he said, that's 6. The eldest oyster winked his eye, that's 8, and shook his heavy head, that's 6, meaning to say he did not choose, 8, to leave his oyster bed. So the answer would be yes. Same beats per syllable. Oysters cannot talk. Okay, we're going to do this last stanza together, and then you're going to try to finish this poem on your own. But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because they hadn't any feet. Okay, does the stanza have the same beats per line as this? I'm thinking so, but let's check. But 4 young oysters hurried up, yep, 8, all eager for a treat, 6. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, 8. Their shoes were clean and neat, 6. And this was odd because 8. They hadn't any feet, 6. How can oysters walk and have shoes? They cannot. The poet is using personification. Okay, so I just showed you how to mark up and annotate a poem. Now it's time for you to try and finish marking the poem. Okay, so go ahead and go into Google Classroom and finish marking this poem. I have one idea for you. Why don't you could always have this open, and you could always do a Google Hangout with someone in this class and do your homework together. So you could set up a Google Hangout, find someone to do this with, and finish marking this text. That's kind of a fun way to do things, okay? With distance learning, you can do Google Hangouts with your friends and work on your homework together. Okay, everyone, I love this poem. I think it's so funny and silly. So have fun trying to finish marking it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.